In Colón, Panama, a storage tank leaked a large amount of oil into the surrounding soil that eventually leaked into the lake in 2009. Several attempts have been attempted to clean up this soil and lake with no positive results. Jose Noriega, OSEI CEO Stephen Pedigo, and EOM associate Mauricio Garcia, the OSEI Colombian distributor, met with the Subdirector General of the Dirección General de Puertos y Industrias for maritime response for the Panamanian government in Panama City during the morning of August 20th, 2015. Once the information had been presented to the Director General of Maritime Response, it was decided that a demonstration was required on the contaminated lake in Colón, Panama. A couple hours later, Jose Noriega, OSEI CEO Stephen Pedigo, and EOM associate Mauricio Garcia met with Roberto Whitaker of Maritime Response Regional Office from Colón. 6 8-ounce bottles of OSE2 were decanted into a pump-up hand sprayer and delivered to the application site. OSE2 was applied to the lighter oil, which was much heavier than a sheen, and the oil seemed to disappear upon contact with OSE2. OSE2 was also applied in more volume to some of the heavier patches of weathered oil as well. The heavier patches, you can see oil coming off the patches until the oil breaks up into the smaller pieces until it becomes so thin you cannot see it any longer. This, along with the lighter oil appearing to disappear on contact, is the direct result of the first response of OSE2 mode of action. The first phase is the biosurfactants breaking down the oil molecules, forming very small micelles. Once the oil is broken down, it becomes detoxified so the indigenous microbes in the lake can utilize the oil as a food source. Once the oil is broken down, several things become true. 1. The oil is detoxified. 2. The oil is caused to float. It can no longer sink, contaminating the water column where 60% of maritime organisms live. 3. The adhesion properties of the oil is diminished to the point it will not adhere to the shoreline grass, sand beaches, rock, birds, or wildlife. 4. The smell and odor is reduced. 5. The flammability of the oil or fuel is reduced so it is no longer flammable. While the biosurfactants are carrying out their actions, the over 157 B types of enzymes are forming their binding sites to get the indigenous bacteria in the lake to utilize the detoxified oil as a food source. The third and final phase of OSE2 then starts. OSE2 contains complete nutrients that grow the indigenous and local bacteria in the water or soil to large numbers until they run out of OSE2 nutrients, at which time they convert over to the only food source left, the detoxified oil. The floating oil is then digested to CO2 and water until all the oil is removed from the water. Once the oil is removed, the bacteria die off to background levels of the environment. This demonstration shows how effective and quickly OSE2 can be used as a first and only response tool to address oil spills. Oil Spill Eater 2, protecting the environment by accelerating Mother Nature.